This
Any idea what is this cloud computing?
Hello, Praveen.
Yes.
We are setting up of servers in a remote data center, and we are communicating with that servers through internet.
Okay. So you are talking about the terminology related to the IT, right?
Yes.
But this cloud computing is not only belongs to IT. Okay. Even in general public also, they are also using this feature in their day-to-day life. Okay. Now, if you see, for example, I have an iPhone. Okay, we have an iCloud, and if I'm using Vivo phone, we have Vivo Cloud. What does that mean? Anything if your local storage is not sufficient, okay, it's out of your storage, okay, then you can use that iCloud or Vivo Clouds to store your data. Okay, for that purpose, what you need to do? You need to connect to the internet and you need to use it. Just a second, guys. Okay, so we will connect to the internet and maybe iPhone or maybe Vivo phones, they are providing you storage to store your data inside their storage. Okay, so they are giving the facility and you are accessing it and you are storing your data. And another example, the best example is Google Drive and Gmail. So they are giving you 15 GB, or if you want, you can upgrade more. Even I'm purchasing storage to store this recording sessions because 15 GB is not sufficient for me. So I purchased 100 GB for 1 year. So I'm paying them by giving 100, some around 200 rupees, and I was using 100 GB for 1 year. So they are giving facility, and I'm storing that. So this is called as an cloud computing, means accessing the resources over the internet. Okay, instead of my own, for example, to store myself, then I should have, for example, external hard disk, or maybe I should have separate machine where I need to install the operating system and I need to create this particular feature for myself. But instead of that, someone else is providing that feature and they are managing everything, right? So to give the storage access, Google Drive access, maybe they might be running very huge servers, huge boxes, storage boxes, and they are maintaining, they might have data center to manage this Google Drive, but they are giving it for service and they're charging some amount, so I'm ready to pay that. But everything this can be happen only with the help of internet, which means not only to the IT related, even non-IT guys also, they are using this cloud computing features in their day-to-day life. Okay, so the basic definition is accessing the resources over the internet. Okay, so that is called as a cloud computing. So cloud computing is like a generic word. It's like a car. Okay. So different companies are providing car, but basic feature is one car. Okay. So which is having four tires, steering, power steering, ABS, okay, airbags, lot of different features will be there. Again, it depends which company is providing what kind of features and why the customers choose that particular company. Same way here also, cloud computing is having some features, and those features are providing by every cloud computing vendor. Okay, so here cloud computing vendors are uh, AWS providing with the Amazon, Azure providing with the Microsoft, GCP providing with the Google, Verizon, IBM software, like lot of companies are there. Slowly will come through. Okay, so first of all, you should understand it's like a accessing the resources over the internet. Okay, so to understand in a better way, those are not from the infrastructure background. Those are from the infrastructure background, they can understand easily. But those are not from the infrastructure background. So for them to understand in an easy way, let's say I got a idea today itself. I got an idea about to start any business and startup company. So I got an idea of let's take Flipkart, online shopping cart. Okay, so I got an idea to start online shopping. So my site is the first site. So to sell the clothes through online. But to start this, I need some investment. So someone ready to invest on me on my idea. So how to create that particular website or app? I don't have that much of programming skills. So what we do, we go to some company. Okay, so we will tell our requirements. let's say we go to some XYZ company, like Infosys is a very big company. They deal with very big projects. So we don't go with big companies. We go to any small companies and we invested around 10 lakhs of rupees and we created a project. Okay. So they developed our code. But before developing, which programming language they used? Can anyone tell me how many programming languages are there? Can anyone name it few?
You mean C++, Java, and all?
Yes, exactly. Okay, C++, okay, Java, .NET, PHP, Python. These are all programming languages. Okay, so current market is trend is Python. Okay, Java is also very good to write any to build any applications or any websites or any apps. Even .NET is also very good. Okay, so depends upon our requirement. They might choose Java, PHP, or Python. If they really choose .NET, then we need to install it on the we need to run it on the Windows machine. If you use Java, PHP, Python, you can use it on the Unix machines also. So assume they use the Python and they prepared our code. Okay. So once it is ready, where I'm going to install it, where I'm going to run that software. So I cannot run it on a normal hardware like on my desktop or laptop. We need very high-end hardware which can compatible with this particular coding, and also it should be highly available. It should not reboot. Even if I don't reboot for 1 year, the machine should work in a very good condition. Okay, so to get that kind of machines, we should buy it from either IBM, HP, Dell. These guys will provide very high-end hardware, which will cost you around 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, even 10 lakhs rupees. Hardware will be there, okay, with very high-end processors, RAM, and many more features. Okay, so we are going to buy those servers. But before we are going to buy those servers, how come I know that I need to buy this server, and where I'm going to keep these servers? Shall I keep these servers in at home? I cannot keep them at my home. So we need to search as such a place that even any earthquake comes, or maybe it should have features like multiple power supply. Okay, and it should be in a safer side. If any earthquake comes, any nature disaster comes, it should able to handle, sustain. Okay, or it should not have any fire accident. So lot of things we need to take care. This is called as a data center. Okay, so this data center should be in such a place that it should have all the facilities, multiple redundancy power supply, and redundancy internet connection. For example, right now, if I'm dependent on only one internet connection, if due to any rains, if that is having any problem, then I cannot take the classes. And this is for continuously 4 to 5 days. Then I cannot take the classes because I'm dependent on only single internet. If I have multiple internet connections, if one is down, I can rely on another internet connection, right? So we need to take care of all these things to maintain this data center. And also you need to uh, plug in like ACs. Okay, so your data center should have ACs because your server should maintain some temperature. Otherwise, this will go crash. So that's the reason we maintain some ACs for some cooling purpose. So I'm investing around 20 lakhs of rupees for this room advance, this AC, servers, and we need to have switches and routers, and we should have storage box separately. So what is the storage box? In real time, we don't have internal storage to your hardware. Like our laptop gets 500 GB, same way your machines will also get some around 100 GB to 200 GB. And those 100 GB, 200 GB, we use it for the operating system purpose. Then where we are going to install the application and databases. So externally, we will connect the storage box, like we call external hard disk as an external storage. So we'll use this external box, storage box, to this particular machines. Like famous storage is EMC. Okay, if you see, look at the images. mm, okay, this is a good picture. So these are all called as hard disks. Okay, if you see hard disks, these are each one maybe 500 GB or 1 terabyte, depends upon how you ordered with them. So they will give you this box. So initially, maybe it's a startup company. I may not require this much of storage. I may go with only 10 terabytes or 20 terabytes. Okay, once my business is increasing, again I'll extend this box. Okay, so this is the external storage I'm going to buy. This is very, very costly storage. Okay, this is not a normal storage. These are SSD drives. So this storage we are allocating logically to your servers for storage capacity. Okay, so why we are discussing all these things? Because first of all, we should understand how the data center looks like, and then we can compare why cloud computing is becoming famous, why we get jobs over there, and what is it, why it became as a revolution in the market, in the IT market. So to understand that, those are not from the IT background, so you should know first of all what is this data center. Just I'm taking the example of Flipkart. Any business, if you take, for any kind of business, you need this model: data center, servers, okay, switches, routers, storage boxes, everything. And once this is ready, I want to install the operating system. Can anyone tell me how many operating systems are there in the market?
We have different flavors of Linux and Windows. Then
Okay.
HP, yeah, HP, Unix, and all.
Okay, we have two types of operating systems. Okay. One is server side operating system. Those are Windows and Unix. And another operating systems are client based, Windows and Mac. Okay. So if you come to the Windows, talking about the server operating systems, Windows having, I think latest is 2000, I think 19. Okay. And 2016, 2012, 2008, 2003, 2000, NT. These are NT is very older version. 2000. After that, 2003, 2008. Previously, it used to take a lot of time to release a new version, but now in current days, it's not this. That is the case. So for every year, we may get latest versions. Okay. So these are the server operating systems from the Windows. Those who are not from the IT background, they might don't know about this operating system. Most of you guys knows Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows Vista, XP. Those are client-based Windows operating system. Server-side operating systems are these are the operating systems. Okay. And if you talk about from the Unix, in the Unix we have AX, okay, and HPUX, Solaris, and Linux. So these are the Unix flavors, different operating systems. These all guys, AX is from IBM, HPNix is from the HP company, Solaris is previously with the Sun Microsystems whenever it got created, invented. But now it's product of Oracle because Oracle acquired Sun Microsystems. So these guys took the source code of this Unix and they built their own operating system. Okay, but at that time, one individual person called Linus Torvalds, he also took the source code of this Unix and he created this Linux operating system. So these are the four. So overall, we have five operating systems. One is Windows, AX, HPNix, Solaris, and Linux. And if your project is built on .NET, this .NET project cannot be installed, run on the Unix servers. Okay, this can be used only on the Windows machine. And Java you can run on both Windows and Unix. PHP also you can run on both Windows and Unix. Okay, but mostly preferable is Unix, Java or PHP Python because they run very good on the Unix platform. Again, it depends upon the budget, which OS you need to choose. Because as a Flipkart CEO, I don't know, okay, which operating system I need to use because this is completely infrastructure level. So infrastructure architects will decide, okay, so what kind of operating system we need to choose. Assume they suggested Linux, okay. So we are using here Linux operating system and then we install this Flipkart application, okay. So this is called as a data center. Here we'll have multiple teams are involved. One is OS team, whether it's a Windows or Linux or HP Unix, whatever it may be, OS team, and then storage team. To maintain this box, we have a separate course called SAN. Storage Area Network course is there. Those who are learning SAN course, they are going to manage these storage boxes. And then we'll have network team. All these switches, all your servers will connect to the switches and switches will connect to the routers and that router will connect to the ISP. Okay, so this network part is going to maintain by the network guys. Okay, whoever learned CCNA, CCNP, Cisco Pix, firewall, all this will comes under network team. Okay, and there will be a database team because here whatever the application we are installed managing it, application is not going to hold the data. For example, in Flipkart a lot of information will be there, right? If I search for iPhone X model or maybe mi Redmi Pro 7, if I'm searching for that, it will check from the database and it will take that information from the database. Application is not going to hold that information. Application is only for providing you the web pages, but that complete data is going to be stored back in the database. Okay, in coming classes you will understand the architecture. Front end always will be application servers, back end those application servers will connect to the database and from the database it will fetch the information. Okay, so for these servers you need to have database servers also, and those databases are going to maintain the database team. Okay, so database team will be there, and there will be a backup team. Daily, what are the transactions is happening from these servers? You need to take the backup. So there will be backup team, Citrix team. Like this, lot of teams will be there. Okay, till now, before cloud got introduced, every project, every company used to have the same model. They need to have the data center, and they need to have this all the setup. Everything should be available. Okay, so now in case assume my business is not clicked in the market, okay, then what I need to do, that complete whatever I paid amount for this servers infrastructure, everything is lost. No one is going to take. I'm going to buy the licensing, I'm going to buy the servers again. No one is going to take. IBM will not take this server. I need to sell in the seconds. Okay, this is all the things we need to leave, right? So instead of this, if these servers, I'm going to get it for a rent basis. Very simple logic. Nowadays, I hope everyone knows Uber and Ola option, right? So instead of buying my own car by investing, okay, 8 to 10 lakhs of rupees, I can go anywhere in the city just by booking the cab. And I can save my money that 8 to 10 lakhs with me itself. And I can go in a car and without driving, without any frustration to drive in the city, okay, heavy traffic, and I can have a nice sleep also in the car, right? By paying some amount. So instead of buying our own car, how we are choosing this facility, Uber facility, same way, if someone else is providing, then Uber guy purchased the car and he is giving the service to you. Same way, if someone else is providing this facility, switches, routers, storage, everything, I'm just going to take on a rent basis. I will see whether my business will work for 3 months or 4 months. If it is, I'm talking about only startup company. If it is not working, then I can give it back to them, right? The same scenario, if we use it in the someone else is providing and the same kind of capacity, what are the capacity we require? So on the day one itself, once my software is ready, on the day one itself, I can start running my business by creating servers, logging into this account, creating servers, and what are the capacity I require, storage they are providing, what are the storage I want, I can allocate it. What are the network we want, I can configure my network. Okay, and and they are providing the operating systems also. I'll select which operating system. They are not going to provide this one, Linux or Windows. So I'll select Linux operating system, and application team can install this application, and your business, you are going to start the business on day one itself. But to arrange this setup, it may take 2 months or 3 months of time. Okay, the power supply you need to check, you need to give high-end power supply, and you need to fix the ACs, purchase this, purchase the servers, all these things. Okay, so here I can use this option, and if in case my business did not click in, I can know in the 3 months or 4 months. I'm using this for some 3 months to 4 months, and if it did not work, then I can give it back to them. So I may get very minimal bill, very thousands of rupees I'm going to get the bill, right? So I am saving here huge amount. This is only I'm talking about the startup company, but in the real world right now, not only the startup, existing companies who are running in this model since last 10 years, 20 years also, they are also planning to migrate to this particular cloud. Okay, so now we'll see what are the why these existing companies, or maybe why the startup companies are using this model to migrate it. Okay, you see benefits of this cloud computing is self-service provisioning. Okay, whatever you require, you can able to provision yourself. Provisioning means you are going to allocate yourself, you are going to create whatever you want based upon the workload on demand. So based upon your demand, how much resources are required to run your application, that much only you can able to create. Scalability and elasticity, this is a very very beautiful feature inside the cloud computing. Let's say I said this is a Flipkart. Assume this is running in my traditional data center. This is called as a on-premises data center or traditional data center. These words you'll hear a lot, okay, throughout the course, or maybe while writing the exam, or maybe in the real time once you go into the job. On-premises or traditional means your native data center. Okay, so if your Flipkart is running over here, let's say on this festival, maybe Diwali festival, or sometime we are going to announce a sale, 4 to 5 days sale we will announce. Regularly you see Amazon will announce a sale, Flipkart, Snapdeal, these guys will announce a sale. So whenever we are announcing a sale, regularly, daily on an average 1 lakh users are accessing. Based upon the access, we are going to have the servers. Initially, when I start my site, maybe at that time one server, but slowly users are increasing, accessing my site. So backend servers also will increase, right? For example, if I have an institute, okay, initially whenever I started, I need only one front office guy to give the post content to whoever coming for the inquiries. Once it is becoming famous, if lot of people are coming, then single person cannot able to handle those many queries. It will take lot of time. So I need to recruit more guys. Same way here also. Initially, whenever the Flipkart site started, it may be start with only two servers, but later on, lot of users are trying to access, then two servers are not sufficient to handle that much of load. So we need to have more servers. Okay, assume 20 to 30 servers are running. Now, on the sale day, obviously, lot of people are going to access. Then existing servers are not able to handle those many requests. Then what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy few more servers before the sale day, and I'm going to configure it. OS team will install operating system, application guy will test the application, everything make it ready for the sale date. So after the sale is completed, what I'm going to do? Again, the regular load is going to come. So for regular load, existing servers are enough. Then what about these new servers? This is the one minus. And another disadvantage is, so I was expecting 2 lakhs users, 2 lakhs hits are going to come. But beyond my expectation, maybe 3 lakhs or 4 lakhs are accessing. So what they are going to get? They are going to get errors. Okay. Because whenever if your server is not able to handle those many requests, then it will throw an errors. Like whenever we access our exam results, we'll get errors, right? On the immediately first 1 hour, 2 hours, we'll get lot of errors. Immediately we'll not get the result because wherever that site is hosted, that not able to handle those many requests. That's why after 1 hour, 2 hours, you can able to see your results. Same way. So previously, if you observe in 2008, 2009, that time, Flipkart and even Amazon used to get lot of slowness, or maybe whenever we try to select any product, it is used to take lot of time, and then it will show as a sold out option, right? Now they are not getting these issues, even though a lot of users are accessing. So that is minus. Again, even though if I purchase new server, still I could not able to give better service to the customers. But whereas in the cloud, assume these three servers are running. If you three servers are configured with the scaling option, then automatically based upon the load, the servers will get increased and it will share the load across multiple servers. Okay. So if these are also not sufficient, it will create more servers. Okay. So once the load is normal, okay, your sale is completed, load is normal, so only these servers get terminated. So you are going to pay additional fees for this extra service which got created for a couple of days. That is only minimal amount, thousands of rupees, but you achieve the requirement because nowadays customer satisfaction is very very important. Okay, previously there were monopoly, so even though they were not giving proper service, we used to take the same company product or maybe service. But now lot of competition in the market. If one company is not giving the proper support service, immediately customers switch into the another. So in that scenario, obviously you should opt for this option because there will be no impact for the front end users, even though if lot of traffic is falling on your servers. Okay, and with very very minimal price, with very less amount. Here again you are investing lakhs of rupees to purchase the server side. So that is the difference. And pay per use, whatever you are using, you are paying only for that. Okay, so it's like our power bill. How, whatever the devices you are using, AC, fridge, geyser, iron box, whatever you are using, whenever you're using, your meter will rotate, and whenever you stop using, it will stop. Same way here, based upon your usage, you are going to get the bill. And you don't need to invest a single rupee on this, to just create an account and you can start your business. Okay, and deploy projects faster. You can deploy the projects faster. Like for example, previously I started with women's and men's. Now I want to introduce another option called kids. So to introduce that option, backend my application team developers should develop that feature inside that app. To develop that feature, first of all they want to test it in the development server. So they are expecting some separate development servers. So in this traditional data center, if I don't have spare server in the data center, I should order from the IBM or HP Dell, and I need to pay them. They will deliver in 1 week, and once it got delivered, someone should be in the data center should uh, what we do, plug in the cables, connect it to the switch, router, storage box. They will take at least 2 days of time, 2 to 3 days of time to do that work, and after that they'll hand over to the operating system team, and operating system will take another 2 to 3 days time to build that server, installing operating system, install required softwares, everything, allocate storage, creating partitions, everything. Then they'll hand over it to the application guys. It will take at least days of time to get a server to hand over it to the application guys. But here, whenever we get a request, within a minute we can create a server and we can hand over it to them whatever they are expecting. Okay, so obviously you are saving a lot of time here, right? So your deployments also implement very faster because if you take example of Swiggy, Zomato, this Uber Eats and Food Panda, If I'm thinking to announce a new scheme and it is taking a lot of time to implement that feature in the app, and already my computer implemented that feature, then what is the use if I implement later, right? Because whoever implement first, it will reach in the market very speed and people adopt it. Okay, so that is the reason we should be very fast to implement any features. To implement this feature, you need to deploy backend. The deployment should happen very fast. In Zomato, if you want to see 50% off inside the app, backend it should be deployed very faster if someone else already applied that feature. That's so that's the reason deployment should be very fast. So once AWS comes in the picture, deployments are happening very, very fast. Okay, even to DevOps also clicked in the market just because of the cloud computing. DevOps tools are available since years, but why it's become famous after cloud comes into the picture? Because you can get everything under one location and within very fast we can provide the resources and lower maintenance cost. This is the major plus point. To run this data center, you are paying rent for this data center and you are having administrators in the data center, physical administrators, because these administrators work through remotely. They sit in, for example, in India, and the servers will be in somewhere in US, UK, Dubai, Australia, Singapore, different countries. Remotely they'll work, but someone should be available in the data center. Okay, for them they need to pay salaries, and these many resources we require to manage this data center. Okay, and apart from this, lot of licensing, also software licensing, hardware licensing, they need to renew for every year. Let's say hardware, if you take every year, even though you get issue or not, how many servers you have, physical servers, you need to pay licensing for the vendor. Otherwise, they will not support you. For example, all of a sudden the server goes down. You raise a case with IBM. He tells that the server is not under support. So you need to pay time and material basis then and there, and then you need to take the service of the server. It will take longer time. So instead of that, we need to take licensing for every hardware. Okay. So to avoid this licensing and to avoid these many resources, let's say my Flipkart data center is having 500 servers. So for these 500 servers, we are having 50 resources altogether: OS team, storage team, network team. The same if I migrate from here to here, okay, so here to here, I need only 10 resources. We don't require this one. Okay, with the cloud, we are getting new jobs, but it's danger, threshold, okay, threat for the existing jobs also, who are working on these domains. Because we don't require this many administrators. And what are the storage team is doing, those things we can do in the cloud with a very simple way. Even kids also can do this storage work. Okay, we don't require any storage high-end knowledge over here. And backup team is also not required. Citrix team, lot of team, monitoring team, here there will be separate monitoring team will be there, they also not required. So you are reducing the resources first thing, licensing, and this building maintenance, everything. So companies are calculating, they are doing auditing, and then only they are moving their existing setup to the cloud technologies. Okay, that is a major reason. So lower maintenance cost, redundancy, and high availability. But I'm running my complete business, whatever I'm generating money, that business, if I want to run here, obviously I will check for the high availability and redundancy. High availability means, let's say this server is for men's option, this server is for women's option, this server is for kids option. So if this server is down due to any reason, hardware or software, so this server is down, then this option will not work for the users, right? So always I need to maintain high availability for my production servers. So for that purpose, in real time, we are going to have separate servers for each and every server, which we call them as an high availability. So this both will be configured with a cluster. Let's say this is the way. So whenever the server fails, all the databases or applications will move from here to here. Okay, so that this will be up and running. We can repair this, we can resolve this issue. Till that time, your applications will run here or database will run here. Then once the issue is resolved, then again we can fail back. So this is called high availability because we are not sure whether at what time the server may go down. So that's why we'll maintain high availability. But to achieve this, again, I'm purchasing another new server and this cluster software, investing additional money. But in the cloud, you don't need to worry about that. Okay, you are not going to pay any extra amount for this kind of facilities. Okay, in coming classes, you will come to know how we can achieve high availability and fault tolerance. And another problem is, okay, even though if I'm maintaining high availability, this is only for this particular server. But what happens if complete this data center is down due to any fire accident or due to any earthquake, okay, or due to any problem? For example, this data center is available nearby any seashore, like for example, Mumbai or Chennai. Lot of water comes into my data center due to any nature disaster, then my complete data center is collapsed, right? So again, it will take 1 month or 2 months of time to rebuild this everything. Till that time, everyone will forget about my product. That there is a site called Flipkart, or maybe there is a site called Uber. Okay, so there will be a lot of competition. So to overcome this, we'll have separate data center called disaster recovery. If this is in Hyderabad, this will be in the somewhere else, Delhi, Gujarat. Okay, so how it is going to be decided? In every country there will be places like R1 zone, R2 zone, R3 zone, which means there will be like places where that place will not impact for the nature disasters. Okay, for example, if you take Hyderabad, Hyderabad is in second place because we don't have seashore here, and very rarely here we get earthquake kind of things, because the place wherever it is located depend upon that place, very less chances for the nature disasters. Okay, so whenever they are building the data centers, they will select that particular places and then they'll build a data center. Assume this is in the Hyderabad or this may be the Delhi. In such a way they'll design. Okay, even though if something happens to this primary data center, we can use this secondary data center and we can start our business from here. In the meantime, we can recover this. Okay, so we have this disaster recovery option also available inside this without any additional cost. Okay, so these are the benefits we talked till now. We are talking about the cloud computing benefits. This is not only about the AWS. These are cloud computing. As I said, this is generic. These services providing by everyone. AWS, Azure, GCP, everyone is providing these services. These are the basic benefits what we get if we migrate to the cloud. So now we talk about who are the leaders in the market. Okay, so leaders in the market are this cloud computing services providing by the AWS, Microsoft are the leaders in the market in current situation, because AWS is the creator of this concept. Okay, if I talk who invented car, the first car who invented means some company might invented some the first car, right? Later on, everyone is copying. Same way, AWS invented this concept, cloud computing concept. Now everyone is adapting it, and they have a lot of money, and they're investing, and they're giving competition to the AWS. Okay, that's why the CEO of this AWS, after introducing this into the market, he's became one of the richest person in the world, right? So previously they used to sell books, right? Amazon, what is it? They sell only, it's a site for books, selling the books. But once they started this Amazon Web Services, he became very richest person. So these guys, Microsoft is having a lot of money, and Google is having a lot of money, and they invested billions of dollars, and they are giving competition, but still lead in the market is AWS. Okay. So apart from that, we have a lot of other vendors also available: IBM, VMware, CenturyLink, Rackspace. But famous is AWS and Microsoft. Maximum market is captured by the AWS, and slowly Microsoft is also becoming famous. So in this AWS, we are going to learn around, I think, 14 services. I did not count. I hope you gone through the course content. So this AWS course, we are going to learn And inside this AWS, we have 5 certification levels. Okay, so you should know which certification you are learning. So we are learning Certified Solutions Architect Associate. Okay, so you are learning this course. To learn this course, you don't need to have any programming languages required. Anyone can do this. A fresher can do, a infrastructure guy can do, a testing guy or SAP programmer. Anyone whoever want to start their career into the AWS, he can do this one. After that, we can choose architect professional. This is advanced level. Okay, so this course mostly we don't get outside for the training, and once we go into the real time, automatically we can write this exam if we have real time experience. Okay, but whoever want to start their career with into the cloud with the AWS, they can start with this one. And these three are related to the programming. Means if you are a .NET programmer, Java programmer, then you want to learn AWS, then this is best option, developer associate, and then you can go to the DevOps professional. And this DevOps is different, and generally we talk about the DevOps is different. Okay, so in the general DevOps we use tools, and here we don't use any tools, directly we'll implement that. Okay, so because you need to have programming knowledge to learn this developer associate or this one or this one. We can skip sysops and you can write developer associate and we can go with the professional also. So, but for this, you don't need to have any programming language required. Anyone can go and do this particular architect associate. And most of the guys will ask me a question: if I do the course, can I able to crack the exam? See, the exam will be completely different. Okay, whenever you do the course, it will help you to pass the exam. But apart from doing the course, you need to do lot of other things. Okay, you need to prepare in such a way that not only doing the course, you need to read the dumps. Okay, latest dumps you need to read, and some sites are providing, third party sites are providing some mock tests. So you need to buy that mock test and you need to practice the mock test so that you'll know, okay, whether I can able to write the exam or not. They'll give you some 6 to 7 mock tests, so you need to prepare them, how you need to understand how they're asking the question, everything. And whatever we do training, that you need to do a lot of practicals. After doing all these things, then we can go and write the exam. Okay, just by doing simply the course anywhere, even if you do course with the AWS also, they're going to take 1.5 lakh for 4 days. And even if you do with them, they are also not going to give guarantee that you go and write the exam and you will pass it. So, but just training, you cannot pass it. You need to do a lot of practice, and you need to read a lot of dumb questions, mock tests, and I will share you some videos. In that videos they will guide you, like they are already completed the exam and they guide us how to prepare ourselves for the exam. Okay, if we follow that, then easily we can crack the exam. So I will share you those videos also, and you get same money if I tell for the others also. That's why I'm charging less. So this is about my course introduction. Tomorrow I will tell about what is private cloud, public cloud, and hybrid cloud, and also I tell you about this services, infrastructure as service, platform as service, software as service, and then I'll jump into the AWS architect. Okay, like how it will be the architect, how AWS is designed. Okay, some how to create your account in the AWS, what is free tier account, how to check it, all these things, basic things we learn. And then day after tomorrow onwards, we'll directly jump into the EC2 sessions. Okay, EC2 class. So
So basically, you are saying like that your application and data center is in different environment.
our applications we can host yes.
We can create Windows and Linux VMs in AWS.